Welcome to Crystal Uncorked. I'm your host, Crystal Vilkaitis, and I'm all about keeping business real, raw, and refreshingly honest. From the peaks to the valleys, we'll explore my journey and the inspiring stories of remarkable women entrepreneurs just like you. Together, we'll uncover the heart of business, embrace vulnerability, and evolve, celebrating the power and success of women in business. I am thrilled and honored you're here. Cheers! Hello and welcome back to Crystal Uncorked. I am Crystal Vilkaitis and I am sharing a little behind the scenes in this episode today and talking about some big announcements, which are super fun. So last month, I posted a picture on my personal Facebook and Instagram of basically me on an airplane crying, and in a very positive way. I received an email, and it was a great email. It was confirmation of somebody I was really hoping to book to be a keynote speaker at my conference Evolve. And I got that email. I'm like sitting in the middle seat. I have two people next to me, and I honestly sat there for a second thinking, should I ask one of them? Like, this is what I was going to say. Excuse me, I just got some good news. Can I share it with you? I seriously contemplated, like, should I share? I just feel like I need to tell somebody. And I was sitting there. I was like, I wanted to hug people. And I just was so happy. I don't know how I contained myself, but I did. And what was really cool is after I read that email, I always listen to music when I'm on an airplane because I love to work and I just listen. And, the song that came on was Miss the Boat by Modest Mouse. And that song came on my car radio like 15, maybe 16, I guess probably 15 years ago when I had my first business called 3 Elements. I was in my early 20s. I took a risk and left my job and started a company, and I needed clients. And I met with this lady, Jennifer Dismang, at a coffee shop. And I pitched her social media services, and she said yes. I can't remember exactly the amount now. I feel like it was like $500 a month or $1,000 a month or something. And it was like a 3-month contract. And it was like my first sale. And it was good money for me then. Like I just needed a couple of those clients, like 2 or 3. And that's what I was making at my other job. So it was like this massive win. Like I took a chance on myself. Somebody said yes to me. They believe in me too. And I felt on top of the world. And I get in my car, and that song, Miss the Boat by Modest Mouse, was on. And it was winter time. And I remember being in my winter coat, but the sun is shining. It was a beautiful Colorado winter day. And I rolled down the windows and I screamed the lyrics of that song because I was so happy. Like I had so much joy in my body that I just had to shout it out. And I'll never, ever, ever forget that moment, because honestly, it was like one of the first moments of, hey, I think you can actually do something here. Like, I think you're onto something here. I think you can be a business owner. I think you can be successful. I think people will believe in you. And, it's easier to believe in yourself when other people believe in you. I did believe in myself, but once you had people start saying yes, it was a kind of a game changer for me. So that song, I get this email that my keynote, who I just recently announced on social media, and I'll share here in a second, that they are confirmed. And then boom, the next song is Modest Mouse. And so I think that was a big part of me tearing up too, was just hearing that song, getting this news, and I just felt really, really aligned, because this speaker I have been following for at least 5 years, more than 5 years. But I remember in 2018, Dustin and I spent a month in Italy, and one of the books that I brought was Story Brand, How to Build Your Story Brand by Donald Miller. And I loved this book. I was like, I was taking so many notes. I would listen. I think I was actually listening to it. I would listen to it on the train when we were going from Rome to Tuscany, and just like taking it all in. And actually, I don't know, we weren't we were going Tuscany to Venice, I think. Not that this matters for you, but I just want my story to be straight. So anyways, we were on like a couple hours train ride and I was listening to StoryBrand, taking a ton of notes. I bet I still have all those notes in my phone. Actually, it would be fun to read those. And I've always followed Don on social media. And then he had a course. I signed up for that course, like a StoryBrand course. Loved it. I made Pauline come over to my house and we would go through the course together and fill it all out and try to do better at our messaging and tell more stories. And then earlier this year, he released another book called How to Build Your Small Business. Of course, I bought it right away. I read it in like 2 days. It's a quick read. It's a great read. And Don just does an incredible job of communicating how to succeed in business. He simplifies it. He makes it very clear and very simple, where I feel like some business teachers can complicate things and they give you a lot of steps and a lot of things you have to do and just throw a lot at you. And you're like, okay, where do I begin? What do I do? What do I need to do here? So Don makes it's simple. It's step by step. He makes it easy. And when it's easy, it's easier to see transformation and it's easier to integrate and see results. And so his new book is all about how a business is almost like an airplane. And he breaks down how it is, like what parts of the airplane is parts of your business. For example, the left engine is marketing and the right engine is sales and how those work together. And the whole airplane has to be operating and be complete in order for you to succeed and fly the plane, right? And have a great business. And so I've been integrating a lot of things from that book with my team. We've been getting our critical actions. We did our mission statement, because how he believes mission statements should be is that they have time, like they expire. And so you basically pick 3 things that you're going to achieve by this date because is connected to your audience, because our retailers deserve education that empowers them and builds their store. Something like that. Obviously, that's one of our things that we've used. So I've been integrating this. He talks about your finances and different accounts you should have, which I also have been integrating that. And so the fact that like I've been following him for so many years, and I call him my business crush. Like I've tagged him a few times on social media saying my business crush, learning from my business crush again. My business crush wrote another book, and he'll like my comment or he'll say grateful, and I'm like, Donald Miller responded to me on Instagram. Like, this is so cool. And so I had a short list of who I wanted to keynote. And I reached out to all of those people. I don't want to share who all those people are because I'm determined to get every single one of them at Evolve. But only Don's team responded back to me. Everybody else didn't even respond. One person did respond actually, but it was not going to work. They only do Zoom. And so I really want this person in person. And so Don's team got back and we just kind of went back and forth with negotiations and how we could really make this work for him, of course, and for our audience. And I got that email sitting on the airplane saying, okay, let's do it. So Don's going to be speaking at Evolve, and his topic is, I had this right in front of me. Let me grab it for you. The 6 keys to growing any small business. He's also going to stick around and sign books, which is really cool. And so I can't wait for his talk. I can't wait to meet him. But here's what's also really cool. I'm taking you more behind the scenes of all this because so I reached out to Don a few weeks prior, and then I tried again, and it was this like magical week where I tried again, but I hadn't heard anything yet. And then in the morning, it was like a Monday morning, I journaled, and just like getting really, I love journaling in the morning. Honestly, that's one of the things that's really helped me build momentum this year and just get a lot of clarity. So I was journaling in the morning, and I have been doing some new content and trying some new things with our retailers. And I've been noticing some training that's really been resonating with them. And so I just was elaborating more on this training, and I was thinking about it, like how I could make it even better and how could I really help support our businesses. And I was like, I just wrote down, I'm going to write a book. And it just made so much sense to me. Like, I'm going to write this book. I'm going to get it published. Some stages you can't speak on unless you are an author. So that definitely, having a book will help me with my speaker career. It also builds your authority when you can say that you're an author. And I just feel like I have a really good idea for a book. And through all my research, I'm not really seeing it on the market. So I just feel like it's a really great opportunity to help people. And I've always wanted to write. Writing comes kind of natural to me, but I haven't ever written a book. So I hear people just say it's like so hard to do. But that morning, I'm not kidding, that morning, Monday morning, I write in my journal, I'm going to write a book. And I just felt it like completely aligned in my soul. And I open up my email about an hour later, and there is, or no. I open up my phone an hour later and I'm on Instagram, and Donald Miller posted, he was the top of my feed, posted that he is doing a writer's workshop. Now, at this point, I hadn't booked Don for Evolve. I had reached out a couple times, but I hadn't heard back. And I'm like, oh my God. So I don't know if he's going to be on Evolve stage or not, but the fact that he's doing a writer's workshop at his home is incredible. I have admired this man for so many years. I love his books. I love his style. I love how he simplifies things. And sometimes that's hard for me. Sometimes I think I can make things a little more complicated. And so I want to help, simplify and land the plane and have great messaging. And one thing I've really learned over the past year is if you want to get something done, you need to put pressure on your goals. And often how we put pressure on our goals is we invest in it. And so it was, if I joined by that Friday, it was going to be an $8,000 investment. Plus I got to pay for my travel to go to Nashville. So I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like this is exactly what I'm supposed to do. But I had a few days to think about it, so I didn't pull the trigger right away. I then go to Dallas, Texas to go speak with Heart on Main Street, one of the boards that I sit on, and a really incredible organization, and just seeing some amazing people there, and really just thinking about this whole writing this book and all that. And then at the same time, actually, oh my God, I'm so sorry that I'm messing this up, but this is Crystal and Cork. So I guess, like I told you in a previous episode, I'm guaranteed to mess things up. I had already talked to Don's team about speaking. I had already talked to him about speaking. So this is 2 weeks before Dallas. I said, I'm going to write this book on Monday. I open Instagram. There's Don's writer's workshop. And then that next day, Tuesday, that next day, I talked to his team. Talked to his team. Then the following week, I went to Dallas. And because I talked to his team, and then we were kind of going back and forth via email on what we can make happen that week. The following week, I go to Dallas. And then that's when the book expiration ended too. And I remember telling his team, I'm thinking about going to this writer's workshop. I would love it if I go to this writer's workshop, because here's what's really fucking cool is my vision is that I release this book at Evolve. So when I was journaling that Monday morning, I'm going to release this at Evolve, which means I'm going to have to self-publish, and which I'm probably going to do. I'm learning a lot about the publishing world. And so that means I got to get writing, and then I want to release this at Evolve, and what a cool thing to do. So, then, you fast forward, and I got my ticket for the writer's workshop. I put pressure on my goals. I did that at the airport from Dallas. Then I'm on the airplane, and then I get the email saying, we are confirmed. Here's the deal. You're going to have Don speak, and we're going to do something else with Don and one of his courses, which I'm not going to talk about yet, but holy guacamole, it's really, really, really cool. And it's going to add so much value to our businesses that we work with. I was blown away the offer that they created for this event. And I'm going to buy everybody books. And so the fact that Don is going to be on the Evolve stage and I'm going to his writer's workshop, I just feel like it would be really incredible to release my book and have Don there, who helped me get it started. And I've just so admired him all these years and have read his books, and they've changed my business. They've been transformative to my success. And it's like a massive full circle moment. So if you saw that picture of me with the tears on the airplane, That's what that was about. And so many of our friends and our family, because then we did a bunch of traveling, Dustin and I did all through July, and I went to a lot of shows. And so many like business contacts and friends and family were like, what is the post about? What's the news? What is happening? And I would share secretively to a few people, and they, not a lot of people in our personal life know who Donald Miller are. So they're like, oh, cool. Like not at all. They're like, really? That made you cry at an airplane? Wow. No one's going to really understand what this means to me. Obviously, just think about that person for you who you're like, oh my God, I love this person. I follow them. They're incredible. And you get to work with them. Like it's just, and they said yes to you. Like it's really, really cool. So my whole thing with that is, you have to try. Like I had this list of 5 people and I'm like, I honestly was like, there's no way. I just feel like there's no way. How can we make this happen? And you don't always know. Like they came back with a proposal that I could have never even imagined on how we can make it happen. And they got creative and it's such like a win-win-win, 1 + 1 = 3 kind of thing. Cause it's a win for us. It's a win for Dawn and it's a win for our retailers. And so the whole point of this is you got to ask, even if you're not sure how it can happen, you don't always have to have the answers. You just need to get clear on what it is you want and why you want it and try to get it. Try to go for it. Put yourself out there. The worst that can happen is people don't respond to you. I think that's the worst because at least if you get a no, then you're like, okay, well, at least I know. But then otherwise they could say no to you or they could say yes, or they could say, well, maybe let's explore, right? Or maybe it's not the right time now, but maybe it will happen down the road. It's just, you have to try. That's the key. Don't write it off. Don't think like this will never happen for me. You just have to put yourself out there. You have to try. And that was such a big lesson for me. And then when you get that yes, I just can't even explain what that feeling is like. Like you want to bottle it up and just take shots of it. It is so incredible. So when I landed, I was like texting my friends because we had dinner plans with them. So Dustin, my friend Christina, and my friend Vi, we all met up and they were already sitting there and I walk in and I'm just like, oh my God, I have such incredible things to share. And it was really fun to be with my entrepreneur friends. Both Vi and Christina know who Donald is and Dustin knows that Don's my business crush. And so they were like, no shit, seriously, like high-fiving me. And they both went to Evolve and they loved it. They had such great feedback about Evolve. So they're going to go next year and they're stoked to see Dawn. And I'm so excited. So I wanted to kind of share a more in-depth, recap of that, moment for me and really show you kind of full circle, like that from the song of Modest Mouse and then just reading these books. Like when I was in Italy reading StoryBrand, never did I think I'm going to have my own conference called Evolve and Dawn's going to be a keynote speaker where I'm going to launch my book. And he's going to help me write it. Like, what? It's so exciting. I'm so happy. So I just am wishing you, that courage, that risk-taking side to ask the question, go for the thing, do it. You might not have something right now, but when that time approaches you, it's so worth asking. It's so worth trying. And just thanks for listening to this episode. It really does mean a lot. This is a really special moment for me. And I'm very, anytime I say that I want to release this book at Evolve, I have a lot of fear around that. Like I can physically feel it because I know there's a lot of variables. How fast can I write the book? What about publishing? And there's just so much I don't know about this industry. And it's funny, one last story I'll tell you is that I told one of my business coaches that I'm writing a book and I'm going to release it at Evolve and I'm not going to tell anybody. It's going to be like, oh, guess what? I wrote this book. And it was my business coach and some people that I'm in a pod with, other business owners. And they all kind of looked at me like, well, why aren't you going to talk about it now? Like you can raise awareness. You can build the momentum and tell people that this is coming. And then when it's here, you're going to have more people to launch it to. Like, why are you being secretive about it and not taking people along the journey? This is really exciting. And I was like, oh, and I thought about that. And I think a big reason is because I'm afraid what if I'm slower to write the book? What if I can't get it published at Evolve? And the whole time I've said, I'm going to release this book and then I don't. Like, I don't want to feel like a failure. I don't want to look like a failure. And so I was hiding. My plan was to hide and then just like build this little thing and then just be like, oh, by the way, I did this thing. And then, have like probably not that great of launch for the book. It probably could have been a lot better. And here's the deal. What I'm going to be writing about, I know is really going to help small businesses, local businesses who have a brick and mortar. And why would I want to hide that? Like, it's okay if it's not done on time, on the timeline I'm hoping for. It's also a very tight timeline. We're talking like 7 months here. But it's okay. It will happen. I know it will happen. And, I need to talk about it. So if there's anything that you're hiding, that you're not sharing because you have fear, I would really encourage you to share anyways, because what could happen is you could find support. You could get new ideas. The universe can send you new things, new people, new conversations. Somebody thinks of something as like, ooh, that'd be really good for this person because I know they're doing that. You never know. It's just, if we hide though, then we're playing smaller and we're not serving as many people as we can. So, again, thank you for listening to this episode. It's a really special one for me, and I will see you on the next CU. Actually, if you want to go to Evolve, you should. Let me just say, super, super early bird. I'm filming this in August. Evolve tickets right now are $197. We're going to keep increasing the price. The final price is going to be $1,997, almost $2,000 for a standard ticket. Right now, I was like, I want to make it so affordable for people to attend. So it's 10% the cost. It's $197. Under $200, you can get your ticket to Evolve right now. That ends October 1st. So make sure that you get your ticket before October if you want to go. Even if you're not a retailer, there's a lot of small business content. For example, Dawn's going to be all about any type of small business to really help you grow. And so will my content as well. And we'll be talking about how to transform your business, your mindset, your marketing, what's coming, the future of it all. And I can't wait. I would love to see you in the room. So you can go to crystalmediaco.com/evolve, crystalmediaco.com/evolve to learn more and get your ticket. Get it before October 1st so you could save a lot of money. And I would love to see you in the room. Okay. I'll see you on the next CU. Bye. Retailers, it is time to step out of the day-to-day of running your store and step into a new perspective. I would like to invite you to join me in Denver, Colorado at my conference Evolve. This is built for independent retailers looking to transform their business. Retail is changing faster than we have ever seen before. So is marketing, and so are the tools to help us build our business. This conference is one of the best places for you to stay up to date and stay relevant. And it's super, super early bird pricing right now. So you can get a ticket for as low as $197. Go to crystalmediaco.com/evolve to secure your ticket. And I can't wait to see you in Denver and help transform and grow your store.